So lads, NBA 2K23 MyTEAM is out very, very soon. And to be completely honest, a big part of MyTEAM is how you start off. And what decisions you make the day the game comes out are going to be huge. The decisions that you make on Thursday or Friday, or heck, if you're watching this video later on in the year, because normally these videos get like 20,000 views before the game, but yet end up getting over 100,000. No matter what time you are watching this video, this is going to be extremely, extremely important for you. Because how you start your MyTEAM and the mentality you go into the game mode with is going to absolutely just change everything. And I do want to put a caveat here. If you are somebody who is going to disregard any advice no matter what that's given under the logic of I just want to use all my favorite players, that is fine. That is perfectly fine. You are perfectly allowed to do that. Everyone is allowed to enjoy the game mode however they like. People are allowed to enjoy it by spending money, by not spending money, by using meta cards, by using not meta cards. What we can't have is people trying to figure out how to succeed and then say, well, watching a tip video, and then saying, I'm not going to listen because I want to do my own thing anyway. If you want to do your own thing, that's perfectly fine. So, lads, MyTEAM, NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. This is going to be the ultimate guide on how to have as much success as possible, especially early on, especially when you are just making your account. So, one of the most important things that a lot of people won't tell you guys is picking the right starter. So, there is one that I will say is huge. So if you guys know anything about starters this year, there was one starter that everybody had to have, no matter who they were. No matter who they were. So let me just go theme, starter, Trae. Because he basically was just him. He, no matter what with Trae Young, he just destroyed the CPU. So the only time, if you are using these cards day one, okay. Genuinely, if you're using these cards, day one, and a lot of starters could be good. If you're watching this after day one, there's one starter and only one starter you should pick is Ja Morant. Because what Ja's going to let you do is he's going to very easily allow you to beat the CPU. So the quickest way to beat the CPU is running by them. It always has been. Three-pointers always have helped in previous years, but none of these guys can shoot the three ball. Being able to run by the CPU. And also, like we know for a fact, like every year Giants are the meta. There is never going to be a video game where where player build and there's a large hitbox. It's easier to grab rebounds. We got a Rick Smith day one, so Joel Embiid's just gonna be fine. Jimmy Butler's gonna be a pure lock who can't shoot. Not gonna be really the greatest card in the world now, is he? But that is, if you're picking your starter, I would strongly advise Ja. The only reason you should pick either of these two guys is if Joel Embiid or Jimmy Butler are your favorite player. Because if you are starting off, and then one of the things is that all three of these guys probably have 90 overall cards in the game already as well. Just a heads up on that one. Because if you guys don't know about the courtside report. So if you want to say, oh, I just want to pick my favorite player, and that's fair enough. There's probably 90 overalls of all those cards. There's no way they would give Ja Morant an 88 overall. These are three. Without question, Joel Embiid should be a 90 overall because there's going to be 5 or 6 players that tier. And then Ja might be an 89 or 87, and same with Jimmy Butler. There's a we're feeling this will be better than the 91, but all of these cards are going to have other cards in the game. So, again, starter card, I would stick with Ja Morant. And again, this is another really, really important thing, and it's don't play online straight away. So what you don't want to do is go out online with a lineup of like your freaking starter card, whatever card, if you're playing this game at a different time, whatever card you get from a locker code, and a bunch of golds, you're going to get killed. No matter how good you are at the game, you are going to get absolutely demolished. You are not going to stand a chance. No matter how good you are at the game, no matter how good your starters are, you're going to get absolutely massacred. So how to build up your team without playing online. So I wouldn't get too bogged down on this mode and its domination. So the whole thing with domination, if we look at current dom, it was 5 stars to get, say, an Emerald Tyrese Maxey, and it was like 5 stars in each of them to get these cards. There was one of these cards that anyone used. Actually, Miles Bridges was not terrible. The only one of these cards through the whole year. Clevo was okay. Obviously, Draymond was the greatest, or was the best. But, like, Draymond is a 15-hour grind. We can't forget these are 15-hour grind. Like, Boucher was, whatever, 3 hours to get Boucher. That's fine. He's not bad for that. But I would not get too bogged down in domination, because I think we're going to be getting a lot more agenda cards. Hence, with us getting the freaking Fred Jones, the slam dunk champion in 2004. As far as I'm aware, he robbed Jason Richardson. But, like, we're getting this card free day one if you're getting the game. If you're watching this video later on, dear, I can guarantee you there are free cards better than domination. If you have all the free time in the world, go for it. Go for it. And some people genuinely say do domination first. And in my opinion, it is one of the most flawed pieces of logic ever. Like, if you complete domination, you're not getting very much. You're not. You're getting whoever the reward card is, which is freaking Julius Randle. That's 15 hours of your time. If you spend 15 hours with no contracts playing this game mode right here, and I'm not even kidding, with everything in the vault drops, if you spend 15 hours, you're probably getting a Lamar Odom, who's going to be better than Randle. Straight up, he's going to be better than Randle. And with vaults and stuff, you have probably gotten a serious amount. And one of the good things is that once you can afford one player, if you got friends, you can play against the CPU. If you want to just grind up your wins and grind up on the rankings, get all your wins, and then open some vaults, you can. You can get whoever the top reward player is by just playing this game with your friends. And again, if you spend 15 hours playing this game mode and just pick up one shooter, which is the amount of time it would take for a domination, you're getting a Lamar Odom. You're getting more tokens. And I know you might be saying, oh, like, I don't want to spend 50 hours in that mode. That's fine. But it's just bringing up the point of, like, people will play 15 hours of domination. Whereas if you put that same time of domination into any other game mode, you're gonna get a lot more success. I'm telling you. The first, Mitch Richmond might be okay for one of the DOMs. Bill Walton's gonna be terrible. Mike Bibby's a 6'1" point guard, and John Havlicek is 5 dominations. That's like 2 entire work weeks of hours. So yeah, just no. Challenges. Do all your easy challenges. Obviously, you want to do the whatever is the 2K. Have I missed the 2K20? Have I missed the 2K23 challenge on this account? I might have missed it. Is this the one? No, I missed it, I think. Either way, just do any of the easy challenges. Basically, until you get 13 players. If you got 13, go play Unlimited. If you've got a squad where you're confident, if you've got like 10, 12 players you're confident with, then go online. Then you can go online, but don't go online straight away. Another thing that I would strongly advise is to, unless you know for a fact you are getting the final limited reward, I'm telling you, I would advise you to not play limited at all, because what limited is going to do is drain a lot of your MT. Once limited, like, you have to build squads for limited. If you are someone who's on a budget, limited is going to drain your MT. And the issue is that a lot of people are like, oh my god, we get all the limited packs if we complete every week, and that's a really cool bonus. That really is. A lot more people are going to play limited with that. The issue is that last year we got like diamond contracts, we got a half badge and the reward card. What I have a feeling this year is that because you can get every reward, sure, we might get a half badge, but rewards 1 through 4 are going to be useless. We're going to have a half badge in the player. So if you're away for more than 1 week, if you're away for 2 weeks, you're probably getting nothing of note except you've had your MT drained by MyTEAM Limited. Because of the lack of contracts, we're going to be seeing cards not significantly more expensive, but more people are going to have more MT, which is going to bring cards up, which is going to bring the cards we want up. Especially in things like limited, where everyone wants certain cards, you're going to see more spiking this year than ever before. So that is one thing that I would, one game mode I would advise you, unless you really like the game mode or you're going to be playing for all 6 weeks. Even with being able to pick all the prizes, which is a better thing, I still strongly advise, unless you are fully committed to this game mode, to not touch it at all. Honestly, don't touch it at all. TTO to 100, an interesting game mode, especially with the playing with your friends. If Lamar Odom's on every game, I think it'll be probably easier to get in this mode. Maybe not. This TTO, one of the TTO is probably going to be the most important what players get. And then draft mode, look, if you have fun playing the draft mode, go play the draft mode. You're not going to get any good rewards. Not, you're not going to get new rewards. It's just not going to be... Actually, you know what? I don't even mind it that much. I don't even mind. You can pay him with MT now. You'll profit on draft. You'll profit quite a lot on draft mode. Let me just say that much. You will profit quite a lot. But I do think you'll still profit more in TT. But if you want to mix... The one issue, when you're just starting off the game, I do advise you also to stick to one game mode for the first, like, 2 days. Like, once you can build 13 players you're comfortable with, play the game as you please. But the first 2 days, as in the first even 4 hours on an account, I would strongly, again, advise to just stick to one game mode, because the higher up you get in that game mode, the better the rewards you are going to get. In terms of just learning about the game, I would love for you guys to subscribe to the DBG channel, because you're going to learn more. You're probably not going to learn more about the game here. You're going to learn more between my 2 channels, between this channel and another channel. So, like, I'm not just... Most of, like, my big tip videos, like talking about, like, the top 5 budget players, tier lists, and everything will remain on this channel. So the videos kind of did well, but, like, a lot of, like, my small tip videos are going to end up on the DBG Clips channel. So go sub to the DBG channel, obviously. If you're watching this, I would love for that. If you enjoy this content or you want to learn about the game. And then also the DBG Clips channel is here as well, if you want to subscribe to that. So, in terms of stuff, just learning about the mode, again, that is quite huge. Another thing that is very big is just familiarize yourself with the 2K database. The database is extremely important, because what it allows you to do is have a general idea for how good a card is before the card comes out. Like, you will waste so much less MT by just knowing what the database is. So just hypothetical situation. You, let me just go to, I don't know, screw it, day one. Day one cards. And you were a huge fan of, and you just pick a random player. Try to think, screw it. He had 22. So you're a huge fan of Jalen Green because of his release. You think Jalen Green is like the best shooter ever. You've used him. So you can go into animations and check what his release is. If the reason why you love him is because of his release, you see base 22. You're like, okay. All of these cards right here. Even if you're on day one, you're like, okay, so many of these cards have base 22. And then you start to look at upper 6 and you're like, okay, is there any base 22s with upper 6 that have the exact same jump shot? There is not, by the looks of things, but you can see things like that. If you like his way his arms are in his jump shot, you can search by upper. If you like the way his feet are, you can search by base. If you like the way a player dribbles, you can check like dribble style. You can check the combo. You can check the size of. You can check the escape. If you like the behind the back, you can check the behind the back. So if you like a card, you can basically check everything about that card and find similar players to said card, and you'll be able to just get better players. Again, it's not like we're going to be seeing like just absolute god tier. It's not like you're going to be able to tell everything from the database, but you can tell enough that you will know if a card is going to be really good or really bad 95% of the time. There's always exceptions. Like Denny Avdia was an exception. He was the exception this year because he had like 89 speed, but he just ran like a 99. It was really weird. But he was the exception of a card we thought was going to be a scrub and ended up being really good. But like, that is kind of what that's kind of one of the big things. This database side is incredibly important, lads. It's incredibly important. And then also another thing is make sure you buy for the game mode you're playing in more so than anything, because that's kind of the most important thing. Like if you have no plans of playing a limited or limited, you don't need more than 5 players in your squad if you're just playing clutch time and stuff. And this, in terms of MT making, I'll be talking about this a lot more in depth tomorrow. Don't buy cards consistently that are going to depreciate in value, especially when you are on low MT. So if you are on, let's say if you have less than 100k in your like total of MT, what you shouldn't do is spend all your MT. I always say 100k is always a sweet spot, because there's always just having 100k basically means that if that one god tier card comes out, you have the ability to snipe them. So for example, if we get another Dikembe type card after 1 week, if you have 100k in a nest egg, you can just refresh on that Dikembe, and you have a chance of sniping him. So that's kind of one of the big things, is that 100k is always the amount of MT that I would say you should have in your collection. I think you should be as frugal as possible until you have 100k, and then you spend everything above that. That is always my thing. Always just have that little bit of a like nest egg, because having 100k there also means that, say if you decide to take 2 weeks off the game, you can come back and buy way better. You can buy an entire team of play. Like if you take a month off the game and you've got no MT, you've came back and you have a squad that is worth half at most of what you pay for it. But if you have that 100k, you can probably buy an entire new team better than your entire old team for that 100k, and then sell all the other cards and have whatever MT you have left over. So it's a really, really big concept for me, is just keeping that 100k. I always say that is the sweet spot. Always try to keep 100k. So in general, that's really it. Making sure to check the database, learning about the mode. Not going online too quickly is huge, and trying like not to buy cards that depreciate in value. And what I call by cards that depreciate quickly in value, expensive cards in current promos. Unless they're a card like a Dikembe where you know there's not going to be better center for a while, or they're like a Luke or a Jordan, these cards will 99% of the time depreciate. And the reason is we keep getting better cards in packs as time goes on. The budget cards don't depreciate too much, because like if they appreciate from 5k to 2k, who the hell cares? But as time goes on, like a prime example is 2K21 Pink Diamond Manager Nobody was 250k the day he came out. Within a week, that card was 100k. So you just always got to just keep an eye on those type of cards. Premium cards do drop a lot. They drop a lot because 2K outdo themselves nearly every week with packs, and it's whether a card drops straight away in the short term, a week later it might be more expensive. 3 weeks after you buy a card, it's pretty much guaranteed to be cheaper, unless it's freaking 99 Luca from last year. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is a guide to starting my team. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.